Hello friends, so today we are going to talk about the optical instruments and under which we are going to see today the eyepieces. So what is eyepiece and what is its function, that we are going to see in today's lecture. So we are talking about eyepiece, that is why it is necessary and important to use eyepiece. So see, in case of single lens, as we saw a single lens as a magnifier, in case of single lens, image is not free from chromatic and spherical aberrations, that is defects are there. And second important thing, that field of vision or field of view is very small, so outer part of the image is not seen by the eye. So here we know that if we consider a single lens and if you see, then outer rays refracts this way, but the rays which are very close to optical axis, they form image at different point, and this kind of defects are there in images. Similarly, spherical as well as chromatic aberrations are there, so that is a main drawback of using single lens. And similarly, field of view is very small, so outer part of the image is not seen by the eyes. That is what the problem of using single lens. But now here when we talk about eyepiece, it contains a combination of two lenses which is free from spherical as well as chromatic aberration, and such a combination is called eyepiece. So remember that here we are going to use a combination of lenses. So we already saw aberration can be minimized using combination of lenses, and the combination which is actually free from spherical and chromatic aberration, such combination is called as a eyepiece. Now here the role of these lenses are different. So one is field lens and another one is eye lens. Here it is. So field lens is towards the objective. So to this side we have an objective which is to be observed from the eyepiece. And now here it is, eye lens is towards eye and observer is to this side. So these are the things in eyepiece. Now field lens. So field lens has a large aperture so as to collect large amount of light. So as the aperture of field lens is very large, so large number of rays which are coming from an objects are collected, and that is why the image formation is very bright and clear. So that is why the aperture is kept large. Whereas eye lens has small aperture, so that total light that enters eyepiece enters into eye. So the aperture of eyepiece is kept small because of the observer's eye is here, and due to limitations of the lens of eye, if it is observed through this kind of lens, then outer rays cannot enter the eye, and obviously the bright image cannot be observed. So that is why at eyepiece side, in eyepiece, eye lens aperture is kept small, and so that whatever rays or total light which falls on this or incident on this field lens can pass through eye lens and can enter the eye. So thus eyepiece is specially designed magnifier to give perfect, bright and magnified image of the object. So here using eyepiece we get these things, that image is perfect, bright as well as magnified. So the eyepiece is used in telescopes, microscope, etc. Now see, we are going to talk about Ramsden's eyepiece. See, basic construction and understanding we'll think, and then we'll go into details. So see, basically Ramsden's eyepiece consists of two plano-convex lens. That is, one surface is plane, another is convex. That is was most important thing. Second, curved surface are facing to each other, towards each other, and plane surface are outer. So most important thing is that due to such kind of arrangement, that whatever aberration defects are created, they are because of equally divided into the sides of the lens, and so that aberration can be minimized. That is one important thing is there. Now see, the aperture of the field lens is large and aperture of eye lens is small as compared to field lens. Now here, for construction of this lens eyepiece, some distance is kept between field lens and eye lens. That is, in case of Ramsden, it is x is equal to 2f by 3. That distance is kept. So we are going to see how and why it is 2f by 3. Now see, here these lenses are separated by this distance. Now objective of the optical instrument forms real image at I1 at distance f by 4 in front of field lens. Now we are going to talk about objective of the optical instrument. So what is objective, that we are going to first consider, and then how it forms real image at I1, and which works actually, which is basically an object for the eyepiece. So note that when we talk about the eyepiece, actually it is a part of telescope, and construction of telescope is like this. Here it is an objective, this is objective lens, and here an eyepiece is fixed. So eyepiece has, here it is a field lens, and here it is eye lens. So, and object is towards the objective of this. Now I have shown here this objective. So we are observing this object. So this object, when light emerges from this object, and when it incident on the objective lens, it is refracted and it forms a image. Remember, this image is real and inverted image, and now this image is basically an image for our eyepiece, that remember. Okay, so this is the image formed by an objective, but later on this is an object for our eyepiece. Now before starting Ramsden's eyepiece, let us have few basic concepts about an eyepiece. So see friends, we know that whenever we consider any lens, if object is placed at focal point, that is distance from optical center to the position of object is, if it is equal to focal length, then the rays after refraction go parallel to optical axis. So that, remember that in order to refract, after refraction the rays should be parallel, then object must be at focal point. This is one thing. Second thing, that instead of using one single lens, if we use multi-lens system, that means more than one lens. So here we are going to use two lenses. So this is, say, lens L1 and this is lens L2. Then if this is an object, so from object when rays will refract, let us consider the second lens is absent, so ray will refract like this, and another will pass through the optical center, and whenever these rays intersect, the image forms here. That is one thing. But now suppose another lens is placed somewhere here, then instead of forming this image, as the ray incident on second lens, again they refract. And due to this refraction, if observer is here, then the point where these rays meet each other, at that point the image is formed. So here, see, this is a real object, and in absence of second lens the image form is real and inverted. But now these two rays are actually traveling for forming this image, but before reaching to this point they are incidenting on this lens. So these rays are for this image. So now this image acts as a virtual object for second lens, and due to the rays of this virtual object the image is formed, and the image is, we are getting image after extending the rays, then that image is also virtual image. So these are the things. Second important thing which we should remember, that when we consider two lens system, remember that with the help of study of cardinal points, we have these two lenses L1 having focal length f1, its focal length say f2, let us consider. Now we can replace this system by an equivalent lens that we already studied, in which the equivalent lens of focal length of equivalent lens system that we already studied. So if that equivalent lens is placed at a particular position, then we get the same effect which these two lens system is creating. Now here, in order to understand the position and all that things, we have to study, that is, four cardinal points f1, another cardinal point, then principal points say p1, p2, and nodal points n1 and n2. So all these important basic things are required for understanding the functioning of Ramsden's eyepiece. Now see, Ramsden's eyepiece consists of two plano-convex lenses of equal focal length, and distance of separation between lens is 2/3f. Now we are going to see the Ramsden's eyepiece. So see here in figure, this is Ramsden's eyepiece, in which it consists of two plano-convex lens. So this is first lens and this is second lens, and we can see that the one surface of each lens is plane and another one is curved. So these are two plano-convex lens of equal focal length. So they have the focal length, that is f1 is equal to f2 is equal to f. So having same focal length. Now the distance of separation, so they are kept at distance that is 2/3 of f. So how that, why that 2/3 of f, that we are going to see. Second important thing, the convex surfaces of the lens are directed towards each other. So here it is a convex surface, here it is a convex surface, and they are directing towards each other. So since plane faces of the lenses are outward, so these are plane faces, they are outward. So the deviation, so whenever image formation is there, the deviation in rays is almost distributed equally along all four surfaces, and that is why with the help of this kind of system and arrangement, spherical and chromatic aberrations are minimized. Here it is a condition for achromatism. So first important thing that we know, using multi-lens system we can reduce the aberration. So we know that condition for achromatism is the distance of separation x must be equal to f1 plus f2/2. But here in this case we know the focal length of both the lenses are same, that is f1 is equal to f2 is equal to f, and therefore distance of separation, according to, in order to get this achromatic condition, it should be f. But now in this case we are, instead of selecting x is equal to f, we are considering x is equal to 2f/3. It has a reason. So see, if we keep the distance x, then if a field lens is placed in a focal plane of eye lens, so distance between these two are is f, means field length is in the focal plane of eye lens, and so any small dust particle on a field lens, if it is there, it will be magnified and image will be confusing. So that is why instead of keeping this lens x is equal to f, it is reduced and it is kept x is equal to 2f by 3. So to avoid these two lenses here, two lenses are kept at 2 by 3f distance, little less than f, and that is why the distance is 2f by 3. Now let us talk about working of this Ramsden's eyepiece. So here we saw there are two plano-convex lenses having equal focal length and separated by distance 2f by 3. Now here objective of an optical instrument forms real image at I1 at distance f by 4 in front of the field lens. So we already saw the original image after passing through objective forms a real and inverted image, and that is what I1 is there. So see, from objective the rays are coming and they form image at this position, that is image I1 is formed here. So the image is formed at f1 and the distance of image from optical center of field lens, that is f by 4. This is the arrangement that the image should be at this distance. So next, here it is, we can see that f1 is from optical center at f by 4, similarly f2 is at distance f by 4. Now due to this object, the rays which are forming this object incident on the field lens, and once they incident on a field lens, remember that this is an object for field lens. Now they refract, and after refraction they incident on lens L2. So here, due to this, when we extend these rays back, we get another image, that is virtual image I2. So remember that this is I1 is a real image at f by 4 in front of field lens, and field lens forms virtual image I2. So see how it is formed. See, when these rays are extended back, this image I2 is formed. Image I2 is due to field lens for which object is I1, and this distance I2 at the distance f by 3 in front of field lens. So from this to this distance is f by 3. So this distance is f by 3. Okay. So now here it is, this is object for field lens, this is image for field lens, and now as the rays incident on the eye lens, remember that for eye lens that I2 is an object, as the rays are appearing from point, this point. So these rays after refraction go parallel, and we already know that when parallel rays are, here it is an observer, so if the rays are parallel, that means its image will be formed at infinity. So I2 is at distance f infinity. So we already saw that in order to get parallel rays, the rays which are coming from an object, that object must be at distance of focal length. So as this is an object for field lens, so from here to here this distance must be equal to f, and here we can see that I2 is at distance f by 3 plus 2 by 3f. So see, distance between these two lenses, that is 2f by 3, and image formed from optical center is at f by 3. So f by 3 plus 2f by 3, that is equal to f, and that is, we can say that from optical center of eye lens, okay, the object I2 is at distance f, that is focal length. And obviously when object is at focal length, the image formed by the lens of this object will be at infinity. Now remember that for field lens, this I1 acts as a object, and image formed due to field lens is I2. So we know that the distance of object we consider u, distance of image we consider v. So here we know that image is formed at distance f by 3. So then, considering the case of field lens, let u be the distance of I1 from the field lens. So image I2 lies at distance f by 3. Hence, image distance f by 3 is nothing but a v, and object distance is u. But we know the lens formula, that is 1 upon v minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. And so by putting these values, we get 1 upon minus f by 3 minus, because of it is to the left side of the lens, minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f, and finally we get 1 upon u is equal to minus 4 by f, and therefore u, that is object distance, this object distance for field lens, it is minus f by 4. And so the arrangement is made such that whenever the objective of telescope forms an image, it must be formed the image at f by 4 distance. So u is equal to minus f by 4. Now let us talk about equivalent focal length. So now we know focal length of both lenses, that is same, that is f1 is equal to f2 is equal to f. Now considering the case of two lens system, we know the formula for equivalent focal length, that is 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 minus x divided by f1 f2. But f1 is equal to f2 is equal to f, and we already know that x is equal to 2/3 of f. So putting those values, we get 1 upon f is equal to 4 by 3f, and therefore equivalent focal length fe is equal to 3/4 of f. So that means when we talk about the combination of lens system, the equivalent lens will have a focal length 3/4 of f. So now let us consider, if we replace this system by an equivalent lens system. Suppose instead of using L1 and L2, suppose let us keep equivalent lens here, which has focal length, that is 3 by 4f. So now we know that the final image formed by an eyepiece is at infinity. So eyepiece is forming final image at infinity because of the rays are parallel. So the same kind of thing must happen in case of equivalent lens, that image must be formed at infinity. So then final image formed by equivalent lens must be at infinity. So if we need to get the image at infinity, so we should think about where the object should lie. So to get image at infinity, the most important thing that I1 must be placed in focal plane of equivalent lens. That is, equivalent lens should be placed at 3 by 4f to the right of I1. So if equivalent lens is placed at right by distance 3 by 4 RF, 3 by 4f, and we know that from this lens the object is at f by 3. So it means equivalent lens is at distance 3 by 4 f minus f by 4, that is equal to 2f to the right of field lens. So we need to keep the equivalent lens at this distance to the right of field lens. Now let us talk about position of cardinal points. Here it is. When we talk about position of cardinal points, See, let us consider principal points P1 from field lengths. So here it is principal point P1, here it is principal point P2. So first principal point and its distance from optical center of field lengths, that is alpha. We already know the formula x into f upon f2. So x is distance of separation, that is 2/3 f, plus equivalent focal length we saw, that is 3/4 f, divided by f2, that is equal to f, and therefore from this we get alpha is equal to plus f by 2 from field lengths. That means first principal point should be to the right hand side at distance f by 2. Similarly, second principal point, this is P2, that is beta. So here at distance beta is equal to minus x capital F upon f1, again putting the same values, that is 2/3 f into 3/4 f upon f. So we get the value of beta is equal to minus f by 2. So minus f by 2, that means this principal point must be to the left side of this eye lens, and it must be at distance minus f by 2. So this way the principal points can be fixed. Now let us talk about the focal points, that is f1 and f2. See, distance of first principal focus f1 from field length is, that is f1 O1. So here it is. See, f1 O1. So here it is f1 and O1. Okay. Now we see that f1 P1, that is distance f1 to P1, but we already know that from P1 to optical center O1, that distance is alpha. So f1 O1 is equal to f1 P1 minus this alpha, and we have f1 P1 is equal to 3/4 f minus alpha, that is f by 2, and that is equal to f by 4. So at this distance, see, at f by 4 the focal point is there, and here it is a first focal plane. Similarly, second principal focal point f2 lies at f by 4 to the right of eye lens. So here it is. The same way the f2 is lies at f by 4 distance. Now let us talk about the nodal points of Ramsden's eyepiece. See, here we observe that in case of both the lenses, medium on either side of lenses, it is same, that is air medium, and if as the medium on either sides of the lens is air, that is same, therefore N1 and N2 coincides with P1 and P2. Now let us talk about position of crosswire. So remember that crosswire is actually used for measurements. Here this is a crosswire, and now in case of this Ramsden's eyepiece, as we saw that this is an object, okay, and this object is real and inverted, and in case of Ramsden's eyepiece, this is field lens, and this another one is eye lens. So final magnification which we get at infinity is due to both the lenses, and as it is with both the lenses, an image object is real. So when object is real, then it is called as a positive eyepiece, because of it is examining the real object. So the real image I1, this is I1, which acts as a object for the system. By eyepiece is at distance u is equal to minus f by 4 in front of field lens. So as to form final image, object must be at focal plane of the eyepiece, that we know, which means which must pass through f1. So here we know that object is passing through first focal plane. So now if we put crosswire here at the same place, then crosswire and object will be magnified equally and a proper scale will be observed in case of the cross wire. So cross wire is placed at this place in case of this Ramsden's eyepiece. So see, so cross wire must be placed at f1 so that there is equal magnification of object and cross wire. Now let us consider another eyepiece normally used, that is Huygens eyepiece. Okay, so here its construction, from figure it is clear that again there are two plano-convex lenses, but in this case the curved surface of field lens is towards the object. Okay, and similarly the curved surface of the eye lens is towards field lens. The major, see here it is a distance between these two lenses, how much that we are going to see. First, in case of this lens eyepiece, see field lens has the focal length that is f1 is equal to 3f, whereas eye lens has the focal length f2 is equal to f. So focal length of field lens is 3 times greater than eye lens. That is first thing. Second thing, that distance between these two lenses is kept x is equal to 2f. And third important thing, see, remember that as these rays are incidenting on the field lens, remember that still image of the object which is for field lens, it is not formed. The rays are coming from the object of the telescope, they are incidentally directly on the field lens, and later on they refract. Let us consider if field lens is absent, then object of the telescope is actually forming image at this point. That is one important thing. Okay, but now as field lens is present here, the rays are supposed to be refracted. Means for field lens, this is an object which is a virtual object. So for Huygens eyepiece, remember that the object which is magnified by Huygens eyepiece, that object is virtual object. In case of Ramsden's eyepiece, the object was here and it was real and inverted, but this is a virtual object. So this object is AB, which is a virtual object for field lens. Now here, as field lens is there, so instead of ray traveling here, now these are virtual rays and virtual image, they refract. So see, at these points they refract and they intersect here, where the image of object AB is formed, and that image is A dash B dash. So here it is A dash B dash is an image formed by field lens. So once again remember that the rays are actually, in absence of field lens, are to be reached here, and that image acts as an object for field lens. But as field lens is present, instead of reaching these objects here, they are refracted and they form an image of this virtual object, that is A dash B dash. Now here, so image formed at distance f from the field lens, that you remember. So now what about the eye lens? See, here it is for eye lens. Now here you can observe that the image which is formed by field lens, the rays of that image acts, that is A dash B dash is now object for this eye lens, and you see that after refraction the rays go parallel, and we know that the ray after refraction, if the rays are parallel, that means the object must be at the focal point. So that so obviously here, as these rays are parallel and observer is here, so the final image produced by this eyepiece is at infinity. So that is what the working of Huygens eyepiece. So remember, the rays coming from object, if field length is not there, it forms image here. Okay, but as field length is there, so these rays are refracted, and actually which were producing image here, that image acts as a virtual object for field length. After refraction, field length produce image of AB is A dash B dash. That A dash B dash is now object for eye lens. So after refraction, rays go parallel, and image of A dash B dash is formed at infinity. So now let us talk about Huygens eyepiece. See, it consists of two plano-convex lenses having focal length f1 is equal to 3f and f2 is equal to f. X is distance of separation, which is maintained, that is 2f. So distance between two lenses for achromatism. So we know that condition for achromatism is x is equal to f1 plus f2 by 2. As we know, the f1 is 3f and f2 is f. Putting these values, x is equal to 3f plus f upon 2. So condition for achromatism is 2f, and that is why the distance between these two lenses is kept 2f. So remember that now this is satisfying the best condition for achromatism. In case of Ramsden's eyepiece, actually distance should have been f, but we kept it less than that, so that eyepiece is not completely free from chromatic aberration, but this is free from chromatic aberration, that is achromatic condition satisfied. Second, condition for achromatism holds good. Now let us talk about condition for spherical aberration. So we know that spherical aberration, to satisfy that two lenses, the distance between them x must be equal to f1 minus f2. Focal length f1 is 3f and f2 is f. So x is equal to 2f, and here we already saw the distance between two lenses, that is 2f. So it also satisfies the condition for minimum spherical aberration. So there is an equal deviation by all lenses, so spherical aberration is also minimized in this eyepiece. So again, okay, so let us talk about object distance view. So see, from figure we know that focal length of first lens is 3f. Image form is A dash B dash, or say A1 B1. So the distance from optical center is O1 A dash. So here it is, V is O1 A dash. And now we have relation 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F. So here it is, V is equal to F, that we already saw this distance F. So putting V is equal to 1 upon F minus 1 upon U is equal to, focal length of this lens is 3f, and therefore U is equal to 3 by 2 f. And so obviously the image form A dash B dash is at distance 3 by 2 f. Now let us talk about equivalent focal length of this eyepiece. See, equivalent focal length, we know that f is equal to f1 f2 upon f1 plus f2 minus x. So we know f1 is equal to 3f, f2 is equal to f, and distance of separation it is 2f. Just putting the values, we get equivalent focal length, that is equal to 3 by 2 f. So means the objective forms the image at AB. So this must be in a focal plane of equivalent lens for the final image at infinity. So here remember that we, due to these parallel rays, we get image at infinity. So obviously the object whose image is formed, that object must be at the focal plane. So objective lens form image at AB. This must be in a focal plane of equivalent lens for the final image at infinity. So that is, equivalent lens must be placed at a distance 3f by 4. Remember that 3f by 4 is nothing but equivalent focal length. So to the right of field lens. So that is why here we have to place the object at distance 3f by 2 to the right of field lens. Then only we will get parallel rays and the image will be formed at infinity. Now let us talk about position of cardinal points. So as usual, see, cardinal points are there, P1, principal point P1 and principal point P2. So distance of first principal point plane P1 is, that is, so distance of first principal plane P1, that is alpha. So here it is, from field length is, that is O1 to P1 equal to alpha, but we know according to formula alpha is equal to x capital F upon F2. So x is 2f, distance of separation, F2 is equal to f, and capital F, equivalent focal length, is 3f by 2. Putting this value, we get alpha is equal to 3 times f. So P1 lies at distance 3f from field length. So from field length, this P1 must be at distance, sorry, here it is, at distance 3f. So now we can observe that O1 P1 distance is 3f, that is alpha. Now let us talk about distance of second principal plane, that is beta. We know the beta is equal to x f upon f1. So beta is distance from optical. Now let us talk about distance of second principal plane, that is beta. We know the beta is equal to x f upon f1. So beta is distance from optical center of eye lens. So here it is, f1 is equal to 3f, x is equal to 2f. Putting the same values, we get beta is equal to minus f. So now from this optical center, the beta, second principal point P2, beta is at distance minus f, and so P2 lies at distance f to the left of eye lens. So this way principal points can be fixed. Focal points f1 and f2. See, the distance of first focal point f1 from O1, that is O1 f1, is equal to O1 p1 minus f1 p1. So here we know that O1 p1 is equal to alpha minus f1 p1 is equal to f, but we know that alpha is having distance 3f and minus f is equal to 3 by 2f. So here it is 3 by 2f. It is a distance of first focal, so that is why f1 lies at distance 3 by 2f to the right of field lens. So here it is a field lens. So let us consider this is optical center of field lens, and when we talk about the first focal plane, that is f1, it is at distance, this distance must be, this is f1, this is O1, so this must be 3 by 2f. So that is first focal point. Now distance of second focal point f2 from O2, that is O2 f2, distance is equal to P2 f2 minus O2 p2, but we know that P2 f2 is equal to f minus beta. That is f minus beta, and we have f is equal to 3f upon 2 minus f, and so we get that is equal to f by 2. So we have distance of second focal plane is f/2 from O2. So now nodal points, as usual, as medium on either side of lens is same, so nodal points n1 and n2 coincides p1 and p2. Now note that Huygens eyepiece is negative eyepiece. The reason is that, important thing, that this eyepiece is examining the virtual image. That is important thing. That is, first focal plane lies to the right of field lens, so the eyepiece cannot be used to examine the real image. So we already saw that here this is a field lens, this is eye lens, and image which was being observed, this was an image which was a virtual image of an object. So this was a virtual image, and now it was between first lens and second lens. So the eyepiece cannot be used to examine real image which are to the left of field lens. So it can examine only virtual object. So it is called as a negative eyepiece. And obviously when we talk about adjustment of cross wire, so cross wire is not used in this lens. Reason is simple, because of the object which is examined is a virtual object and it is between field lens and this eye lens. Okay, so final image having magnification of both the lenses, but when you insert this cross wire, say between these two, then magnification will be only due to one lens, and that is why will not get a proper scale and the readings will be not reliable or accurate. So that is why the cross wire is not preferred in this Huygens eyepiece. Okay, that is all about eyepieces. Thank you very much.